Talk to me, boy. But have naked by the end of this song. I don't know why this song stuck in my head, dude. But it is. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's Sunday. And it's the Sunday Night Livestream. Critically acclaimed. Critically acclaimed, dude. And that's just it. And that's just it. Sorry, I'm posting about it, you know, letting folks know what's going on. Don't be so quick to walk away. Jack Deuce, what up? But have naked by the end of the song. Goodness gracious. What up, dude? That's what I want to know. I want to know what up. You know? I want to know what up. Talk to me, boy. Gabriel's here. Bay Area Aviation's here. Drink of the stream, Sunkissed. Raspberry blood orange. Oh, he did it again. He did it again. He brought out the big guns. Not sponsored, but it can be. Business email in the description if any of the fine folks over at Sunkissed are in the chat and they'd like to support my struggling channel. You know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that is life-changing. Avaholic, what up? Oh, Barry at Throwbacks, what up? Alright, we got some fun stuff to talk to. Yeah, I'm gonna talk it stuff. Today. Why did I say it didn't post my story? Anyways. Right, a lot going on in sports. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Talk about a few other things going on. Now, but I'm naked by the end of this song, right? So you think I'm in a good mood. But I've had a rough day. But I just want to tell you guys a quick story because it was a big lesson for me. Okay? This was a big lesson for me. All right, this is going to be boring. So if you're watching the playback, fast forward. All right? For the TikTok generation that can't listen to a good story. All right? Following an NHL player, but the Avs captain who was injured for 3 years scored a playoff goal last night. That's cool. I only been following a tiny bit. JD, what up? All right, so I've mentioned to you guys before, if you're keeping up with the lore, in my apartment, I've had issues with my upstairs neighbors. It's a couple, probably in their 30s, I would say, and they had a child that's only a year or two old. Shot Simple, what up? You need to respond, dude. You need to respond. I'm telling you, you have to. Please go to Instagram and respond. I've had issues with these upstairs neighbors. I've been complaining about it. I've been upset. I've had to deal with the office. And I'll tell you guys just like from my point of view and then what happened today. Because something happened today. Drama. Oh, it's drama. Gabe's here for the churros, he says. Well, get in line, buddy. So I try to be reasonable, right? I try my best to be as reasonable as I can be. So I understand that people are going to make noise. We live in an apartment. That's going to happen. I hear the baby crying. There was another baby a couple years ago that I don't hear anymore, but there was a baby that used to cry all the time. That doesn't upset me. I don't get upset when I hear noise or anything like that. It was more of the I just felt it was inconsiderate the way they'd walk around, and it felt like stomping. It shakes my whole apartment. It disrupts me. I have some PTSD and anxiety issues, and it just sends my adrenaline and my blood through the roof. And and I try my best because I don't want to be an angry person or anything. So I try my best to ignore it. Sometimes I lash out. So we've had to deal with management and all this stuff, right? And it's just pissing me off so much. I'm just always very angry how inconsiderate they seem, and when I hear them vacuuming or whatever, it doesn't bother me. You got to vacuum. I get it. I hear them talking sometimes. Doesn't bother me. You're going to talk. You live in an apartment. I get it. It was just the like power walking and stomping that really would get to me, right? And today, it was just a lot. And their kid is like walking now and running. So their kid is like running all the time. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it like shakes I have a fan with lights. It shakes it. So I'm hearing that all the time, right? And it's sending me through the roof. I'm sorry. I know this is a boring story, but it has a point. I promise. So today, earlier, it was getting to me so much. What's up, Jennifer? It was getting to me so much that, and I was like ignoring it, but like I was just fuming inside, right? And I was watching sports earlier, but then I was like eating and I was trying to chill and relax, and I was working on some graphics. Sitting here working on some graphics, and it was just so much. It was just like constant stomping and all that. And I had a slipper. I don't have the slippers with me. Just a slipper. And I just threw it up at the roof because I was angry, right? Just a slipper. So it wasn't anything. And it's like a floppy slipper, not like slides. It's like literally like pajama slippers almost. But they have like a sole to them, but not like a hard sole, like a floppy sole. But I threw them. They hit the thing. And then he just stomps like 3 times super hard. So they heard the slipper, right? So I go outside. His wife walks outside, and across from her, they have friends that are same thing. Another couple with a toddler. She's walking over there, and I'm just like, why do you have to be like that? And she kind of starts yelling at me. Then all the neighbors come out. The guy's yelling at me, and he's like really aggressive. And I'm just like, bro, don't talk to me like that. I was like, lower your voice. I was like, can you please be more considerate? I don't know why you're so inconsiderate. And so at first it was very aggressive. It was very aggressive. And he starts kind of like telling his wife or whoever to like leave, and tells the neighbor's wife to like stop talking, and I'm like, whoa. And I was like, you're gonna have to calm down, man. And I'm just like, please. Like, I was like, it's killing me. It is like, it's so much. And I'm downstairs, they're upstairs on this, and we're yelling, and the other neighbors the guy comes out, he's trying to like kind of, mediate. But obviously that's his friend, so he's on his side for the most part. And it got really, really aggressive, right? And he's like, I don't know. I don't want to go through all the things we said, but I'll tell you this. We spoke for about 15 minutes. He explained his side. I explained my side. And I think we left it in a good place. And then I went back up like a few minutes later because his wife had gone inside. So I went back up to apologize to his wife. So I did apologize for when I lash out and I get angry, right? And I'll tell you this, while we're expressing ourselves and we're de-escalating, because at first we're escalating. We're de-escalating. I apologize. I said, you know what? I'm sorry. And he keeps bringing up his kid, right? He's like, my child, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, dude, I have no problem with your kid. I want your kid to have the best, happiest life ever. I want your kid to, live a wonderful life, but please just be considerate that's not my burden to bear either. And he's like telling me all these things. He's like, we keep the kid on our lap as much as we can because we know. They're like, we've talked to the front office about what they could do about the building, all this stuff I wasn't aware of, And then he was like, my wife, went home to India for like 6 months, and I remember that was a very nice, peaceful period of time for me. But he just told me all this stuff. But while we're de-escalating, yeah, I apologized for lashing out because I was like, I don't want to harm your child or disrupt anything in your child's life, whatever. And I apologize. I said, I apologize for the aggression and for lashing out and all that. And the first couple times I kind of said that, he didn't really apologize back. And I was starting to get mad. I'm like, hold on, I'm not like just conceding here. I'm not just like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm not groveling. So finally, again, I said, something about, I didn't appreciate the way you spoke to me. And I'm sorry for the way I spoke to you. Blah, blah, blah. And I just said, yeah, I'm sorry for being aggressive. I'm sorry for causing any, discomfort in your household. And finally, he apologized to me. I'm like, okay, cool. And then, yeah, I went back upstairs to apologize to his wife. The neighbors, they were all in the neighbor's house. They invited me in. They gave me candy. I said, I'm working on some stuff. I can't, but I was like, maybe another time, but I appreciate it. And I told him, I said, my whole thing was what got to me this whole time. It's not necessarily the noise. I mean, obviously nobody likes, a bunch of noise, but what really got to me is in my head, I'm like, they just don't even care. They're just not even trying. Like they're just disrespecting me. That was my whole mindset. But talking with him and all the things he told me, and even his neighbor kind of backed him up on these things, I realized like they're doing what they can. They're not, I think there is some differences there where they don't realize sometimes what they're doing. I think that's still a possibility. But I realized like if they're trying, what can I reasonably expect them to do? And yeah, they told me enough where I was like, man, they really are like, they are being considerate as much as they can. And so that kind of changed my mindset about it. And, I watched The Sandlot the other day. It was just, one of my favorite, like, children's or coming of age movies, whatever you want to call it. One of my favorite baseball movies. I know you guys probably love it too, but like, I realized how, like, I was just thinking this, like, man, if they would have just gone to that neighbor earlier and just knocked on the door and just been cool with that neighbor, they would have got their ball back anytime they needed to get their ball back. And they could have been friends with Hercules, the beast. And I was just thinking that the other day, and I'm like, man, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I did talk to that neighbor before, but it was a long time ago. But it's like, I didn't need to approach it that way and build this animosity in my head for all that time. And I still don't like the situation as far as like the noise, but I could have been more reasonable and gave them the benefit of the doubt instead of just making them villains in my head, I guess is my overall thing that I'm trying to say. And I know that was super long. I think I lost viewers. People don't want to hear that. They want to go scroll on TikTok. Nobody cares about my drama. But yeah, I get no comments, no nothing. My channel's the worst. Look, nobody cares. I know. I get it. But I could have just been better. The business animosity in your head. I do that too. I'm my own neighbor noise update. Tell me about it. Some people just don't get it. I've approached my neighbor in a nice way. Last time I did it, he tried to fight me. I mean, yeah, this dude, he came out super he came out super aggressive. Thank you guys. He came out super aggressive, but he's also defending his child, his toddler, in his mind, right? Like, obviously, I'm not attacking the toddler, but like you're a father. I get it, so I understand where the aggression came from, but like the details aren't important and they're boring. But he told me enough where I believe that they are trying. Throughout the years that they've been here a couple years, I think they have been trying to be considerate, where in my head they were just villains, because I was like, they don't even care, like they don't. And I've been like I've been avoiding any sort of like conflict, or like I don't want to approach them. Like, I didn't want to see them. Like, I would avoid seeing them because I was afraid of this. I didn't want this to happen. And then lo and behold, I should have just let it happen 2 years ago. We could have been cool this whole time. You know, because I know I can be aggressive and I can escalate. And, you know, I'm bad with confrontation because of that sometimes. So, like, yeah, I should have just been more reasonable. And that's not to say, like, obviously I think they could adjust some things too. I think we both could, but we don't need to be combative. We don't need to be enemies is the main thing. But yeah, anyways, I'm done with that. We can move on and talk about some funner stuff. Missed almost the whole thing, Jenny. It was boring. Don't worry about it. Elizabeth defensive when it comes to her children. Yet they are, but I get it. You know, my duplex neighbor is noisy daily in his garage. Oh yeah, you told us about that. Spoken to him once. I reached out to my landlords, basically told as long as this Sunkist is phenomenal, by the way. Thank you, Avaholic. I'm just a guy though. Oh, one of the things when we were like aggressive and yelling at each other, she's like, I'm gonna call the cops. I was like, for what? Like, what are you talking about? And then at one point he was like, you remember this one time you said something, you yelled out the F word real loud, and he said it, and I was just like, I did. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have you naked by the end of this song. Talk to me, boy. Heard some Warriors chants yesterday. Yeah, we were talking about it in the Discord. Finally heard them on TV. I hadn't heard them in like 2 months. Yeah, so drink water? No. I'm drinking Sunkist. Not sponsored, but it can be. Business email in the description. What's up, Jake? Yeah, so let's talk about the Giants first, I guess. Little League walk-off, if you guys didn't see it. Elliot Ramos had a swinging bunt. He hit the ball about 4 feet in front of him, and it bounced over towards the pitcher. And after a series of bad throws, he made it all the way around the bases for the win, for the walk-off win. That was fun. Of course, I went to go get food right before that, so I missed it. And Lakers lost to the Wolves. Now, I hate to say I told you so, but Lakers better have a miraculous comeback. I told you guys multiple times. Luka's never winning anything is the main guy. Luka's not winning anything is the main guy. He needs to be a spot-up shooter in the corner. If you have Luka playing ISO hero ball, you're never winning anything. Because he's a defensive liability. And I will say this. I'm usually highly critical. LeBron James was playing very, very good out there. I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched a good portion of it. And it was nice to see LeBron playing defense, trying on defense, contesting, it was good to see. I like LeBron because he's obviously incredibly talented. He just makes business decisions, and his fans, or the weird fans, just don't seem to care. But with that said, I do want to show you guys his new statue that's going to get unveiled soon. There it is. That's the new LeBron James statue. It will be outside of 3 different arenas. '86 World Series with Bill Buckner. Look, Ant-Man's incredible, man. He's incredible. Some of those threes he hit were just, yeah. I think the Wolves, to me, they're the favorite. Obviously, I hope the Warriors can pull it off, but this is more proof of what I was saying, what I was telling you guys. What was it, last week? I know this isn't good timing though, because he was way better tonight. I'll give him credit. He was trying tonight, but unfortunately, you got stuff like this. This to me is why he's not the GOAT. Pretending to be fouled, pretending to be hurt, just like I told you guys, last week. Rolling around like he got shot. I don't respect it. To me, look, this is the thing. When I was a kid, some of you guys will remember this. When I was a kid, if you saw a player rolling around on the ground, you were actually worried because you were like, oh no, he's probably out for months, if not the season, if not his career. And now it's like every other play you see someone rolling on the ground like they have a career-ending injury. And it's just like, but look, Luka's never winning, all right? I stand on it. If Luka needs to be, I'm trying to think of a good comparison. He needs to be like Danny Green. He needs to be like dang it, what's his name? The Australian dude. Or not Australian. Is he Australian? Patty Mills. He needs to be Patty Mills. If Luka's Patty Mills or Danny Green, he'll win. Until then, he ain't winning nothing. See, LeBron said he didn't foul Ant at the end where the replay clearly shows he hit him on the wrist. Yep. Kind of want to see the Lakers next round. That would be fun. It's not over. Other teams have come back from 3-1. And LeBron was on them. He might get someone suspended. Watch the Lakers get 45 free throws in each of the last 3 games. Seriously, man. Dude, Steph would be like the scoring champ every year if he got foul calls. But, the Warriors pulled it off without Jimmy, which was nice. I didn't expect it, to be honest, but I think the Houston team is just too young right now. And a lot of discourse online, because I always read stuff, which you shouldn't. Don't do it, but I read stuff. A lot of people just think like Houston they need someone else, like Jalen Green's not enough. I don't know if I agree. I think Houston is a complete team. I just think there's a lack of experience. I think what some people consider lack of like talent in certain places is just a lack of experience. And I think Jalen Green with more experience will get more consistent because that's his problem. Would he score like single digits 2 games and then almost 40 another game? Like, he's just not consistent. But once he's like, if he can get that consistency, I don't see how he's not a number 1 option. I think he can be. And it's like being the 2nd seed's not a fluke. So I don't know why people are kind of down on the Rockets. I think they're a really good team. I think they have a lot of different talent, and I think they're kind of like they got a little bit of everything. And I think the Rockets are a really good team. NBA Twitter's pretty wild for sure. So's Reddit. Why'd the OKC Memphis series finish so fast? They played 4 games before the Warriors and Rockets even played 3. I was wondering that too, man, because like the Warriors and Rockets and I want to say Lakers Wolves had like 3 days off in between, or 2 days off in between, when it's usually every other day for like the first 2 games or something. It was like 2 days off in between each. I I don't know. The scheduling's weird. But look, man, Warriors did it. Steph is the best. He's the best. But with that said, though, I this is a rant I've gone on so many times, dude. But I'm about to have naked by the end of this song, so just deal with it. Just deal with it, man. I'm doing what I can here. Talk to me, boy. I don't know why this song stuck in my head, but you guys are welcome. I've been down on this Chase Center crowd for years now. And it honestly, a lot of people blame it on moving from Oracle Arena to Chase Center. I don't think that's it. I think that's a coincidence. It's just timing, because Oracle Arena was getting like this too. And people seem to forget that is like in the last few years of Oracle Arena, we had the same gripes. We're like, man, it's not the same anymore. Like, it's all these techies. Like, we had the same exact gripes. Like, maybe Chase Center made it a little worse now, because it's like there might be some people that be like, I don't want to go to Oracle Arena, and then they'll go to Chase Center. That's possible, but I don't think that's the actual reason. I think it's more of just sustained success. And, Oracle Arena, it got popular. There's a lot of bandwagon fans with the success the Warriors had. But now it's not just success. It's Steph is like a GOAT. Like, Steph is a legend at this point. You got to remember, like 2015, 2016, 2017, like those years when Oracle got more bandwagon fans, Steph wasn't a sure thing Hall of Famer, like legend yet. He was like the new guy, like, oh man, he's good. You got to go check him out. Like, nobody shoots like this. But now he's like a legend, and he's older. So people are like, we got to go see him, And some of those fans are just super casual. They just want to see Steph Curry. And that's why you don't see like the old chants and stuff like that, like we used to. And I still think there's a good amount of solid fans at Chase Center. Whenever I go, I do see them. I see the Filipinos out there. They've always been supporting the Warriors. Like, they're still there. It's just a smaller percentage than it used to be, and they're nowhere near the court. Like, the whole lower bowl, like the closer you get to the court, it's just all, like I said, sweater vests and slacks. And you see, like, the games now, like, this is the big thing online, is people aren't wearing the shirts that they give out. So it just kind of ruins the vibe of the arena when you just see it's supposed to be like yellowed out, or, the certain teams are white out or black out or whatever. Like, they'll have like a colored shirt so that the whole arena could be cohesive as one. Like, that's the atmosphere. And instead you have, a spattering, whatever, of yellow shirts, and then like, some guy in a blue blazer, just like a guy in Dockers with a button-up shirt tucked in, and then the girls got to show off their outfits so they don't have the shirts on. And it's like, didn't you learn from Jessica Alba, dude? If Jessica Alba can wear the shirt, you guys can wear the shirts, okay? At least if you're not going to wear the shirt, at least be wearing the same color, or like at least the team colors. But most of the people wearing the shirts, it's like they're not even wearing jerseys. They're just like, they're wearing their like kind of business casual. And it's just like, it's just really annoying. It's really, really annoying. So if Jessica Alba can put on the shirt, you guys can too, okay? Just put on the shirt, dude. Put on the shirt, for crying out loud. It's not that difficult, okay? But it also got me thinking about like, there was behind the scorers table, like 6-7 rows up. It was like second quarter already. There was a whole row It was like 6 seats with the shirts still on the seats. Nobody even showed up. And it's like, how is there a whole row empty at a playoff game? Like, what? So it made me think, like, I wish there was a way. I don't think there is a way, and obviously it's not feasible and it's not reasonable, and the owners and teams would never even support something like this, even if it was reasonable. CMC and Juice were at the game, and they were wearing the shirt. They were. When it comes to stuff like whiteouts, what's better to stripe out, like blue and yellow for the Warriors? That'd be cool. Hate when rich people get into sports and overtake it from the real fans, for sure. So don't know nothing about Al Harrington, Ron Turner, for sure. Detroit should have evened the series, and be honest, they should be up 3-1 on the Knicks. I haven't watched that series at all. I have no idea what's going on in that series. But wouldn't it be cool if there's a way to have like a merit system for fans? So like you were tracked somehow and you gained points. So like the more games you go to, the more points you have, which gives you benefits. All right, so look, hear me out. If you've never been to a game before, you're like in a lottery for tickets when you try to buy tickets. All right, you're in a lottery, and you're gonna sit up high. You're sitting up high. You're in the nosebleeds. Okay? But the more games you go to, you get put into the lotteries for lower levels. So you get to finally, when you build up enough points, your merit is high enough, then you get lower bowl seats. Okay? So you don't get to choose your seats. You have to earn those seats. That's what I want to see. So like if I was you, obviously you couldn't do this. Like it's not a real thing. But like if I was Steve Ballmer, like all the crazy stuff he's doing with the Clippers arena, I would introduce something like this for like certain sections. I would have a section that was all merit based, like at least like two corner sections, lower level. 2 corner sections lower level would be a lottery for real fans. Something like that. I'm telling you, I would do it. Thrive City playoff game sewed. I might be able to do that. Memphis had no rest at all. They played 2 games. Yeah. Dude, GP2 killed it yesterday. Great game. And the ticket price go up, unfortunately. Yeah, they do. What up? More pro teams should have stuff like the Timbers Army or stuff like student section. Yeah. Michael Barrymore, what up? Does that not also support people who have more money who can afford more games to go to? I mean, it's not a perfect system. You're right. This is not totally thought out. But how could fans like earn merit? I think it could be like a point system in going to more games. But I think my point is with that, the way that could work itself out is a lot of these people who go to fans that are casual, they don't go to a ton of games. They're just like, oh, that sounds fun. Like, I want to see Steph Curry. Like, and then they golf clap and they're only excited to see Curry. Like, the amount of times it'll be an amazing play and people don't even stand up. I just feel like those people don't go to games all the time, but maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong. So maybe you're right. Maybe that would still benefit the rich people, but I don't know. If you had merit-based sections, right? I know this is a crazy idea too, so don't think I just think this is totally reasonable and feasible. I understand this is a wild idea, but like, I don't know. I'm thinking like trivia, but then people could just Google it. I don't know. And now that this is like really affecting us, I understand Steve Ballmer wanting like the section you can't really sit in unless you have Clippers gear on. I understand it now. I understand it. I don't know. General admission. I wish I had more general admission. So to become an Australian citizen, you have to know the words to our anthem. We need something like that at Chase. That's what I'm saying. The Warriors chant is very basic. Yeah, if there's a way to like test, and obviously you can still have open seats for other people, you know, like people who just want to go to out of town games, or you know, like me, I go check out different stadiums and arenas. I don't want to just be put in the pool and be way up top if I can help it. But I don't know, man. It would just be cool if there was a way to do like a merit based system where people who otherwise couldn't afford it get a chance to sit real low. And I guess I'm also speaking for my inner child, right? Because like I was a nosebleed kid. Like I was nothing but nosebleeds most of my life. It's literally been since I've been an adult doing this channel is the first time I started like actually sitting close to some games. Like for the most part, other than a few exceptions, like for the most part, I've always been in the nosebleeds. So for other kids that were like me that would have been over the moon about sitting low. And this kind of connects to my last rant a couple weeks ago about the guy who got the Victor Wembanyama jersey and had his kid get it and then just immediately tried to sell it. It's like, I wish those opportunities were given to real fans who would appreciate it, not just people that don't care about that stuff. Points too for watching games on TV. Like I don't live anywhere my favorite teams anywhere, but hardly miss a game. Yeah, see, that's true too, because like out of town fans could somehow earn points so that when they finally, you know, because some people they only get to go to 1 or 2 games in their lifetime, literally, because they're like an out of state fan or whatever. Like I've seen people. I met a guy, he was in one of my 49ers episodes, lifelong 49er fan from Montana, I think. Montana or one of the Dakotas, like something like that. He was sitting next to me. He was probably close to 60 years old, and it was his very first 49er game. He was a fan through the Montana years, young years, the dark years, Garcia years. Like he was a fan through all of that. And here he was sitting next to me at Levi Stadium in 2024 or 2023. For the very first time. So it's like if you've been a fan for that long, there should be a way for you to earn merit too. I don't know. Timbers game in Seattle. Yeah, for sure. The out-of-town games are really fun. Yeah, the bandwagon Swifties will leave immediately. Certain the techies in their Patagonia vests would sing the Warriors chant if they knew how to. I mean, how could you not want to get involved in that? I don't know, man. I've seen people just really just not. They were just. I don't know. I live in South Dakota. Their closest team was the Twins, and that was a 5-hour drive. Big fans, but rarely ever go to a game. Basically, has to be a planned weekend trip. Yeah. So if we have the merit-based system, they have to have a way. They have to have a way for them to like earn points from afar. Also, I'm gonna think more about this so that when I'm a billionaire, I can introduce this. Okay. OKC is such a vibe, man. Props to them for their atmosphere. Yeah, no, they've done a great job with the whiteout and everything. Like, yeah, for sure. OKC's strong. I still kind of believe in the Wolves over OKC though. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping the Warriors can beat both of them if we need to, but. Yeah, I don't know. I wish there was something like that. Like, this is the thing. Like, all right, if I was Steph Curry, or if I was at least like a star on the Warriors, right? First of all, during a game, I would like literally do what you know how like Greg Popovich has gotten on the microphone, like Steve Kerr will get on the microphone and say something. Like, I would literally get on the microphone and be like, "Hey, you guys need to get it together." I've been like, come on, we need you guys. Let's go. And I don't just mean the video either, because people just like, the media team made them do the video, you know, because they'll have the videos where it's like, come on, get up. And it's just like Moses Moody, like, right? No, I would get on the microphone during a timeout and be like, hey, leave if you're not going to get on your feet, you know? And then what I would do is one of my favorite things, but also it's like bittersweet because I was a nosebleed kid. You know, when you see like, there's always really good compilations of like Steph Curry hooking up kids, like autographs and like even experiences, man. Like he'll have a kid near the court during warm-ups and he'll have the kid passing it to him, right? So like the kid's involved in his warm-up, like just really cool stuff. Like I love seeing those videos of like athletes doing stuff like that for kids. But like, dude, if I was Steph Curry, I would literally have like an intern or something, like go find a family like in the nosebleeds and be like, hey, just, you know, I'd find 3 families and then just have them wait behind, come down the court side, and I'll like sign autographs for them and take pictures or something like that. Cause it's like bittersweet because I love seeing that stuff. Like it warms my heart seeing Steph Curry like being so kind to people. Like, I love it. These lights keep going off again, dude. Oh, they're like going low. They're not even. But yeah, I love when he does that. But it's always kids that are already like courtside. You know what I mean? So I would like. Sometimes it's like schools and stuff that get opportunities, which is awesome. But you know, these rich kids get all these cool opportunities, and it's like I would pull some people down from the nosebleeds. You know. I attended a championship game for the Timbers. The nosebleeds of Mercedes-Benz. Man, that's up there. The EPL does it best, and it's what Clippers are doing. They still get your techies turn up, but they have sections for the hard fans that sing wire to wire, win, lose, or draw. Yeah, for sure. And you know, you see it with like the Oakland Roots and stuff. Even a small team like that, you know, the fan sections keep it going. They drink the water. They just need to be led to it. You might be right. I just think a lot of them just seem like I don't have a high opinion of who they are as people. You know, it's not like they're just clueless or ignorant. I don't know, but I could be wrong. But a lot of them just seem self-involved. They don't know the chance, so they can't get involved. And it's 30-second video. Well, so shot simple at Warriors games, they have a video of Steph Curry teaching the chant. So the last game I went to, the video I did against the Pacers, they played that video. So we did one Warriors chant when the video played. So they do have a tutorial video. People just don't do it. So, you know, I've told myself if I go to a game again, if I go to a playoff game this year, right now I don't have plans to, but I want to. It's just I don't have the money right now, but if I can make it happen, I'm going to try to go. I'm going to try to get Warriors chants going. At least, like, you need 3 or 4 of them a game. You know, like, if the first quarter goes well, you need to end the first quarter with a chant. You need to end the second quarter with, end every quarter with a chant. End every quarter with a chant. And start the fourth quarter with a chant. So you need 5. I think my dad temporarily was a Timbers Army member. I guess there was some pep rally. Oh, cool. Marlena, what's up? Good evening. Yeah, so those are my ideas if I was a sports owner. And also all my concession workers would get paid like $40 an hour. At least. Maybe more. All the ushers. I would tell all the ushers, you have to be sweet, you have to be kind, don't yell at people. Just explain things kindly, and I'm going to pay you as much as I can. In that video I watch on League Pass and shows the in-arena videos on the breaks, I don't think it really explains well to someone who just doesn't know. Yeah, maybe. I have to see the video again. The only team that looks 100% scary is the Cavs. I mean, they were scary all year. I just feel, I don't know. So there's something about the Cavs I don't believe in. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's just because it's historically they're the Cavs. I don't know. But yeah, man. You know. But look, Warriors are up. Lakers are down. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. And look, I hate to say I told you so. But I've been right about a lot of things. Okay? And luckily I have this live stream to prove it. The one thing, I always say the one thing I was really wrong about was Wemby. I thought Wemby was going to be a bust. I'm still worried about his body holding up, but he put on some mass and he's a lot stronger. And sports science is just better than it used to be anyways, so it can probably keep him healthier. So I'm still worried about that. But skill-wise, Wemby's legit, and I didn't think he would be. I didn't think he would be at all. I was right about Zion. I knew Zion wasn't going to do nothing. But look, Luka's never going to win nothing. Just like I said, yeah, not on the live stream because this was years before, but I said Harden's never going to win anything. Harden's not going to win nothing. All right? As the main guy. As the main guy, he's not going to win anything. And what else? Oh, the Kings. I called it, dude. Sorry, Kings fans. But I called it. So many Kings fans tried to be excited about moving on from Mike Brown. Like, oh, the team needed some energy, blah, blah, blah. Or they needed to switch something up. You need to switch something up from the coach of the year. Doors that way, bud. Hey, doors that way. Whole thing exploded. Vivek sucks. All right? More owners should allow their concession workers to unionize. Agreed. Clippers versus Denver is turning into a dope series. Dude, I keep hearing fun things about that series, but I haven't had a chance to watch, except for, I saw part of game 1. That's it. But yeah, man. And then, what else? NFL draft. NFL draft happened. The 49ers and drafting injured players. It's a thing, huh? It's a thing, ain't it? Right? Right? For some reason, we love our players coming off ACL injuries, or if the 49ers were a baseball team, they would sign every pitcher coming off Tommy John, I swear. There's a lot of talent in some of the people we picked up. Hopefully our defense is stacked. Hopefully they work out. I'm still just bummed. We barely even thought about the O-line. I want the O-line. Dude, I want to have the best O-line in the league. I want our baby boy Brock to be protected. I want him to have as much time as he needs back there. Okay? I want him to have his little snackies, little trees, little apple juice box. And I want him to sit back there and be nice and safe. That's what I want. Watching his cartoons, dude. That's what I want. And for some reason, dude, every year, not every year. I'm so glad we got Trent Williams, but it's how long is he going to play? Every year, it's we have to wonder if he's going to retire or not. Since we got him, 4 years ago now? 3 years ago? How long ago did we get him? I don't even remember. But it's I know you can get offensive line talent later in the draft or through undrafted, because it's I think it's a bunch of positions that are very underrated and undervalued. So I get that, but I hope they have a plan. And they seem to believe in the players we already got, and I'm hoping that's the case. But it's how do we replace Trent when he's gone? Obviously, like Pooney and there's talent. There's good players, but it's like I really wanted to go hard on O-line. I wanted to have like the greatest O-line of all time. That's what I want. That's my dream. A guy can dream, right? A fella can have a dream. You know? A fella can have a dream. My friend who's a Kings fan was glad to see Mike Brown get fired. Just the Kings fans don't... Look, Kings fans, respectfully, they just don't know what's going on, I guess. No, the Raptors fired their coach. That was coach of the year the very next year, and they won it all. They were already... Kawhi won that for him. Should have got Shedeur. I don't know. Niners need Shedeur. Doesn't Brock have the starting job for a while? Yeah, I mean, Shedeur wouldn't want to be behind Brock, and I don't know if he would take the competition. Yeah, Kawhi was the difference. I knew they weren't going to draft an O-line. I kept saying they were going to, but I knew they weren't. I wanted them to, man. I want to have a legendary O-line. That's it. People will say the Warriors would have beaten Toronto if they were healthy, but that doesn't take away from what they accomplished. They had a great run. They absolutely had no shot against the Warriors if we didn't lose 2 Hall of Famers. But they were still, that was still a great team and a great run, great playoff run, with some really, legendary moments too. So props to the Raptors, but yeah, they wouldn't have won. Hopefully our defensive line just goes crazy. We do have some good talent in the secondary now too. I know the what's his name, the linebacker we drafted. I know he's supposed to be really good. I don't know too much about him. All I know is he's been injured and he's undersized. That's all I know. So I'm just like, but we needed something. We lost Greenlaw, who just got hurt again, by the way, so he's gonna miss probably the start of the season. Which sucks, man. Like Dre Greenlaw is so fun to watch, and he's just had to deal with these injuries his whole life. Yeah. Clearly D-line and how bad they were against the run last year was a bigger priority. No, you're right. Yeah, Robert Saleh, I guess, just he negotiated, I guess. So I'm hoping, man. Like, this is my thing though, so I'm not super upset or anything because first of all, I don't know anything. I'm a big dummy, right? I don't know nothing. But I'm always in the drafts. I think it should always be O-line and defense. I want O-line defense before I want the flashiest diva receiver. I really think that's what wins. And it's kind of like with like baseball's the same way. It's like whoever hits home runs gets the attention, but I get it. It's an exciting thing, but it's not necessarily what wins. Rats are also number 1 seed the season before they won too. Good team. Kawhi got them over the hump. Yep. Dubs 100% would have beat them with Katie and Clay for sure. Seahawks are probably going to have a rebuilding period. I don't see Darnold being the guy. I kind of thought the Seahawks might have taken Shedeur. It's always funny. Everyone loved to remember the 2015 Warriors won against an injured Cavs, but forgot the Warriors were injured against the Raptors. Yeah. So Shedeur fell to the 5th round. Here's my thing about Shedeur. I think he was incredibly overhyped. But I don't think he was that overhyped to fall to the 5th. I don't think he was a top pick, but I don't think he was a 5th rounder either. So I'm torn, to be honest with you. I'm torn. Because Deion's one of my favorite players of all time. I love Shedeur Sanders. But I think I just see a difference in, there's a thin line between like cocky and confident and like arrogance and and being sure of yourself. And I just feel like Shedeur just goes over that line without the accomplishments. Whereas like Dion was like that, but this could be a bias. I could be misremembering. But I feel like Dion was confident more than cocky in some ways. And he didn't play the victim. Whereas Shedeur, like after the first round when he was passed over, he kind of just said like, we know this is wrong or whatever. Like, what do you mean, man? Like, now maybe the league did, collude to blackball him. I don't know. Kind of seems like they did. But apparently he has some really bad meetings with some teams as well. So I don't. But like the fact that having your number retired like that and some of his statements are just a little too much for me. So like I don't hate him. I'm not rooting against him. I'm not happy to see his downfall. But I also didn't like some of the arrogance that he showed. Heck, I reckon they would have won with just Clay. I think so too. We were shooting terrible that series. Brown's QB room is crazy. Would you take a punch from Draymond for one more ring? Yeah, absolutely. What did Shedeur accomplish at Colorado? Honestly, not much. Yeah, agreed. I don't know, man. Like I want to see Shedeur do good. I want to see Shiloh do good. I like Shiloh a little better. He's not as arrogant. He honestly barely seems arrogant at all. But Dion just felt confident, and he defended himself, right? And he was his biggest supporter was himself, right? But his son seems to be more like entitled. I don't know. I don't know if there's even a difference. I could just be wrong. I could be biased, but that's the way it feels to me. And I think he kind of shot himself in the foot with that way of thinking. Where just a tiny bit of humility would have gone a long way. And, having the whole draft party and the whole legendary slogan and all that, and then live streaming the whole thing, like, I just didn't like it. But again, I'm not rooting against him. And I wasn't just like happy or laughing at what happened. It was just crazy. Definitely didn't expect it. Shedeur Sanders was not even drafted either, going to the Bucks. Yeah, I think he signed it right after the draft. Dion backed it up. Yeah, for sure. But he also, I don't feel like Dion played the victim. As a Nepo baby, I mean, he kind of is. But man, the Browns, how much talent have they wasted in the last 30 years, huh? Would you trade 2 of the Warriors championships for a Niners Super Bowl? Oh, that's hard, man. That's a difficult question. That's a difficult question. I want to say no. Because, like, I've been to a Super Bowl parade. And, like, here's, I guess this is, yeah, I would say no. And this is why. A team wins a championship every year, right? Out of the 4 major sports, there's 4 championships a year. A lot of teams get that honor, right? There's a handful of teams who have never won it all in each league. So it's not like every team has had it, but for the most part, eventually everyone's going to enjoy a championship. Most people in their lifetime will see a championship from one of their teams, if not multiple or all, right? And I've been lucky enough to see a championship from the 3 major ones. Obviously, never seen the Sharks win. They've been close, but haven't got over the hump. So a championship is just, it's it's the best thing. It's amazing. But what's even more rare is a dynasty, is a run of like, the Warriors. I mean, Steph came to a team that was just in a tailspin for 15 years. Like, so to turn that around and turn it into now one of the premier teams in the league, like even when Steph leaves, I think we're going to have some dark years, but I think the Warriors now are in the conversation. Because this was the first time the Warriors had success in the modern like TV era. Because all their other championships were when the NBA was much smaller. So to finally have that, it cemented the Warriors as a franchise where I think before Steph Curry and before this run, there'd be a lot of casual fans who didn't even know who the Golden State Warriors were, where they played, anything about them. So I think it's much more rare to have a dynasty and to win 4 championships and go to all those finals. I think that's more rare. So I don't want to give that up for a championship that is winnable and is doable. So I would say no. And it pains me to say. Guy who pranked him too. Oh yeah, dude. Jeff Ulbricht's son pranked Shedeur. It's the most awkward video. Oh, it made me cringe, dude. Oh, it made my skin crawl. Oh, honestly, I'd trade the Timbers MLS Cup for another Blazers championship. I mean, those are different levels, Warriors win 2 more, but the Niners never win another Super Bowl. No, I think I would take the Niners Super Bowl. It's like at this point, the Warriors, it's this legacy, this run, this dynasty was cemented. Everything here is extra and awesome, but like, no, I need another Super Bowl. I need another Super Bowl. If the Pens win another championship, I go to Pittsburgh for the parade. Never say never, dude. Once Steph is done, we're going back to the sad dark blue jerseys for a long time. I don't think so. I think Steph Curry cemented the Warriors as a premier franchise. You got Chase Center. San Francisco is as much as it's vilified, it's still a popular spot. I think the Warriors are they're no longer the laughing stock. He made them a franchise that is respected. Right? Like I said, for the first time in the modern TV era, the Warriors are considered a franchise. Before, they were an absolute joke. Nobody even talked about them. So yeah, I think, I'm not saying the Warriors are going to be a powerhouse forever. I'm just saying they're going to be in the conversation of like a team. Because before they weren't. They were never even talked about on. I watch SportsCenter every day. They barely ever talked about the Warriors unless there was drama, unless a player is demanding a trade or a coach is being choked. That's the only time. That's the only time they talk about the Warriors. When I was a kid, a disgruntled player choking a coach or demanding a trade. That's the only time we got mentioned. Grew up in the 2010s and still shocks me I grew up with 2 dynasties. Warriors even have a few championships from the time when they were in Philly. I mean, yeah, but those were all before the TV era. Like, it was different. What do you think of the Guardians fan heckling? Oh, I was going to talk about that, Rob. Actually, thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot. You have a Jeff Ulbricht jersey? That's funny. I want to rewrite history where the Hawks gave Marchand the ball. Yeah, I don't want to rewrite that. Dubs are still going to be contending. I think Steph made them a respectable franchise, and yeah, and honestly, I think Steph's going to be around. Like he might be part of the front office or something. He might be like our Buster Posey. So yeah, no, I think the Warriors are going to be. We're a team now. We weren't a team before. We were literally we were a jobber. If you guys watch wrestling, if you don't know what a jobber is basically a wrestler that. They don't have a fan base. They're not like popular. So their job is to lose. So they go out there to get beat up and lose to the guys who are over, the guys who are like popular. So we were a jobber of the league, and now we're a respectable franchise. So I wouldn't want to change that. You know, what are the other jobber teams? That'd be a fun topic. We should do that one time. The jobber teams, like it's like in the Charlotte Bobcats when they made them. It was just like they were just jobbers, dude. They had no shot at anything. The Hornets are kind of, now that they're the Hornets again, it's like it's kind of the same thing, I guess. They got LaMelo, but it's not enough. Who else is a jobber team nowadays? The Browns have always been jobbers, right? The Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals is a jobber team. San Francisco sports fans seem fair weather than Oakland fans. They support the Raiders throughout the years. San Francisco is it's different because there's a lot of transplants, a lot of changeover, a lot of movement. So it's hard to like have a fan base that's consistent every year. It's always different. I think in that case, the use of facial recognition was used in the right way. I didn't know it was used, but that's good, yeah. Warriors were the team that would sign good players at the end of their careers. They weren't even that good, though. It wasn't like really good players. It was like middling, maybe an all-star game or two in their prime, but like never a superstar. Houston Texans, Houston Texans were jobbers. CJ might turn them around, but they were jobbers. Clearly don't see how passionate SF fan, always selling out the ballpark. Yeah, but I see what he's saying. Like, SF does have a lot of changeover and a lot of fair weather fans because the real fans get pushed out. I've already talked about this before. It has just as passionate fans, just the fans get moved around more. Would do the trade since I've never seen the Niners win a Super Bowl. Yeah, no, I get that, but I did see it, and I went to the parade. I saw Deion Sanders in the parade. Like, I remember these things, so it's easier for me to say no. The Hornets are jobbers, yeah. What do you make of Adam Silver saying that shortening the season is not off the table? I think that sucks. I don't want less games, Like, if it makes a higher quality product, then maybe, I don't know. I hate to see less games. Mariners, that's a good one. Didn't get a chance to ask last week. What's your thoughts on a neutral site for World Series being thrown around? Hate the idea. Hate it. Hate the idea. Like, yeah, no, I would hate a neutral site for the World Series. Like, imagine, that'd be so terrible. Because baseball doesn't bring in as many casual fans as the other sports, so that'd be awful. But yeah, so if you guys didn't see Jarren Duran of the Red Sox, he's, I don't want to say controversial because that seems like an attack on him, but he's had a lot of issues. He opened up about his mental health. He struggled when he first got called up. He was kind of a phenom, and he got called up, played terribly, made a lot of fielding errors, and the fans were really brutal towards him. So he, had suicidal thoughts and just he went through all this stuff personally. And then he finally, he was able to get through it, and he's been a great player. Made the All-Star team last year. I think he was the All-Star game MVP last year, if I'm not mistaken. He talks all about it in the Red Sox documentary I was talking about last week or the week before that, is awesome, called The Turnaround. Is it The Turnaround, or is that that might be the Trey Turner Philly one? I don't know. It's the Boston Red Sox documentary where they followed the team last year. But Jarren Duran, he's a guy who I really seem to like. Like, I think he's, like, I'm just kind of drawn to him. Like, he's charismatic, and I like the way he plays. Speed on the base paths, which, like I said in all my Ricky Henderson stuff, I love players that are, like, I love base path players, man. Like, that's one of my favorite things. Which always sucks because the Giants, it seems like we're always lacking that for the most part. We're better now, but we've had a lot of years where we had, like, Nobody good on the base pass. But he's so much fun to watch, and obviously with the mental health issues, I like him and root for him. And he seems like a really cool guy, but then he had some controversy where he called someone a slur, a homophobic slur. You guys know which one. And then he also is endorsed by a clothing company that has some ideas and thoughts and supports some things that I do not support. So that's kind of a bummer. So it's like with Jaren Duran, I'm kind of like just back and forth about him. But overall, I would say I want to root for him. And because he opened up about his depression and mental health issues and anxieties and all that, today a fan in Cleveland, it was a Cleveland Guardians and Boston Red Sox game, a fan chirped at him something about you should have killed yourself when you had the chance to, something like that. And so Jaren Duran kind of went off on him. People had to come out and pull him away from the crowd. And I didn't see all the replays, but apparently the Cleveland fans actually got on this fan and like got him kicked out, helped him get kicked out and stuff. So that was cool to see. Like, shout out the Cleveland fans, because I know there's a lot of the fan base who keeps trying to like. I'm not even gonna get into it. They say some stupid stuff when it surrounds like Chief Wahoo and some of that stuff. But good on Cleveland for that. So I don't know. Did they say what's gonna happen to this dude? Is he gonna get banned for life for the time period? Like, I kind of think you should just get banned for life at that point. I always say, man, I love when players fight fans and beat up fans. I love Malice at the Palace. I think a lot of fans deserve it. I'm gonna have you naked by the end of this song, right? So that just is more fuel to the fire, where I'd love to see more fans get punched in the face by players. And it's like I said with the Oakland Roots thing. By the way, Sunkissed Raspberry Blood Orange, just phenomenal. Not sponsored, but it can be. Business email in the description. If any of the fine folks at Sunkissed are in the chat. I said with the Oakland Roots game where I got in the argument, I talked about it last year. I also put out a members only video that shows what happened for the most part, whatever I filmed. And talk about it. So if you become a member on the channel, that video is up. It's like, you heckle, boo, whatever, but like, don't get personal. Don't go over the line. There is a line. Most reasonable people know what it is. You can feel it, right? And it's like, when you go over the line, I just don't mind if a player twice your size just beats you up. Guy deserves it. Yeah. The Super Bowl probably shouldn't be a neutral site. I disagree, because the Super Bowl is one game. I think the neutral site works, and it's such a big game that it brings everything in. I just don't think baseball would do that for a 7-game series. Both teams get home games, so no reason for that. Yeah, agreed. Ichiro and Griffey for a while there. Mariners have had a lot of great players. Edgar, Randy Johnson, King Felix, man. LeBron has another 10, 60, 70 game seasons left if they do. For real. Yeah, man, Edgar. 2020 World Series had a neutral site and it was odd. And it didn't count. And it was stupid and it didn't count. So stop gets to me because one time I had those thoughts. Luckily, I'm doing better. I'm glad you're doing better, right, guy? Work at Fenway and had the opportunity to meet Durant. He's really nice and humble, so I'm stopped to meet fans a lot. Dude, he seems like an awesome guy. And that's why, for the most part, I root for him. Obviously, there's some criticisms. The clothing company that sponsors him, I don't like. I'm not a fan of. And And obviously, you know, I when you use a homophobic slur in 2023 or 2024, it's like at this point, isn't that a little late? Because I used homophobic slurs my whole life growing up, so I'm not innocent. But I learned a long time ago, way before 2024, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this. But we all have our own journeys. My thing is like if you're still using, if you just used it because you just needed a word and you were angry and triggered, I can forgive that. But like if he really has those feelings and thoughts, it's like it's harder to support someone that doesn't support everyone's civil rights, because that's an important thing to me. I tend to think he probably does deep down, but the clothing company thing throws me off. I don't know. But Jaren Duran, for the most part, I like him. Definitely enjoy watching him play. Neutral stadiums for games that are meaningful, just they F you to the fans. I don't think the NFL, but I hate that they do that for the Super Bowl. I love it for the Super Bowl. I think it makes sense for the Super Bowl because it's one game. But yeah. Guy was banned for 2 years. Okay. I mean, hopefully that's enough to get it through his thick skull. I don't know. Just that simple. The more F around, the more you're going to find out. I agree, Parker. Jay Buhner. What about Jay Buhner? Now there's Julio Rodriguez. Oh, you're saying the player. Mariners. I get it. And there's Julio Rodriguez. He could be a potential perennial all-star. Yeah, Julio's awesome. But yeah, man, I like when fans get beat up. Sorry. When they deserve it, obviously. Sometimes players are wrong. Like, all right, if Tommy Pham goes after a fan, I might be like, I don't think the fan deserved that. And that was the thing with Malice at the Palace, because it started with Ron Artest. I was like, But I mean, you saw the guy threw the cup, right? And it hit him. Like, if you throw objects, they ought to just drag you onto the court and beat you up. I think most people aren't hateful when you're super emotional under the influence. You're going to say and do stuff you will regret. I agree, but I mean, like I started this live stream talking about, I got into an argument today, and I didn't say anything like that. I didn't say anything hateful. He's always getting into arguments, folks. That's fine, though, dude. Because I'm about to have naked by the end of this song. Speaking of Super Bowls. Talk to me, boy. About to drink the Sunkist to the end of this stream. You obviously have heard about the FU Draymond chance of Houston. Do you think that's too far? I think it's a little too far. I do think it's too far, but it could be a lot worse. More than do I think it's too far, I just think it's stupid. I think it's just normie behavior, because it's like, oh, you hate Draymond? No way. You know? And it's like, what? I've defended Draymond on this stream a lot, and I'm going to continue to do so. I think it's a narrative thing more than anything. I don't think he's as bad as people think. I think they're looking for what they want to look for. I think Draymond is an incredibly animated and vocal person, and that rubs people the wrong way. That is not the same as being dirty. I do not think he stomped Sabonis. I'm sorry. To me, if that's a stomp, that was a wrestling stomp. It's not a real stomp. Okay? All his weight was on his left leg, not on the leg that was on Sabonis. They completely ignore the fact that Sabonis wrapped up his ankle. For some reason, they completely forget all the elbows Sabonis throws. I don't think he was trying to kick people in the nuts. He was just trying to be basically animated and disruptive, which led him to flail his legs. Stupid. I'm not saying it's smart or okay. It's stupid, but he's not like, I'm going to kick this guy in the nuts. And they try to act like that's what he was doing. Nope. Same thing. He flailed his arm around and hit whoever that was, what's his name on the Suns? You know what I'm talking about. Hit him in the face. That was reckless, stupid. But I don't think he's like, I'm going to punch him in the face. He's just like, I'm going to spin around and be animated. So, and then he goes over the line when it comes to refs and technicals, and like when he chased down the ref yesterday. Stupid, stupid, stupid. But to me, that's not a dirty player. That's an animated and passionate player who leads him to do stupid things sometimes. Now, if you want to see a dirty player, look no further than Dillon Brooks swiping at Steph's injured thumb after he shot the ball. That's caught on replay. Please show me a time where Draymond's going after someone's injured body part. What's the full story with the prank call? How did he get his number? Because he's the son of the Falcons coach. Is he the DC? Defense coordinator, I think? Dioso, what up? You missed a lot. I heart Draymond, me too. Didn't Draymond stomp Enes Kanter in the balls one year? No. They get tangled up and he's animated. He's not like, I'm going to stomp on his balls. Like, it leads him to do stupid things, I admit that. But he's not purposely trying to hurt anyone. Whereas Dillon Brooks, literally, if I could find it, I'll show you guys. You want me to find it? I'm going to show you guys. And not to be like, whataboutism, you know, but I just don't like the, I don't like the hypocrisy where it's like, I get it. Draymond is the biggest villain because he's had the most success. But you can't call him dirty while at the same time rooting against the other team and not calling it dirty. Now, if there's a video, if anyone can show me a video of, if anyone can show me a video of Draymond Green purposely swiping at someone's injury or something like that, I will admit it's dirty. I will admit it's dirty, but dang, I don't know where it is. Hold on. Well, here's another one. Let me see if I can play this for you guys. Oh, yeah. Okay, watch. This is not the swipe one, but look at this. Hopefully this doesn't get me claimed. Steph shoots and just boom. No call. No foul call. No foul call whatsoever. That was Dillon Brooks. Nobody says anything. Well, I mean, people hate Dillon Brooks too. And this is my thing. I've told you guys, I like Dillon Brooks. I like players like that. I like disruptors. I like people that play hard. I do not like purposely trying to, you know, hit someone's injured hand. I'll try to find this other video. Dang, I can't find it. Now look, Draymond does a lot of stupid things. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying I don't think he's purposely trying to hurt people. Nurkic, yeah, that's right. And the Nurkic one was the dumbest. That was the dumbest one. That was the most reckless. That was the dirtiest thing I think Draymond's done. Guy grabbed Chris Cohen by the balls trying to rip him off. No, I don't remember that. No, I love Draymond. That's my guy, but he knew what he was doing with the stomp. Now, I don't think he stomped him. I'm taking that to my grave. I think if you acted out yourself, all his weight's on his left leg. He was trying to catch himself. And the fact that, like, you don't even see Sabonis's torso doesn't even move from his leg. Like, it didn't go in. Like, he didn't stomp him. All his weight's on his left leg. He was catching himself. Like, play it out on yourself and catch yourself and you will do that same move. I'm telling you. And Thompson was dirty towards Jimmy. He also did. Yeah, he was. And I like Amen Thompson. I like him a lot. Yes, that's right, Diosa. Love Moses Moody response to Brooks calling Dre dirty. Yeah. You know, with how physical some players are in basketball, how much pride and ego, I'm surprised more players don't throw more elbows. I mean, they throw a lot of elbows. A lot of people do. Yeah, GP2 went in. See when Dylan Brooks tried to roll Steph's ankle, game 2, he tried to act like it was just falling. Oh yeah, that was that one too. That one too. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Dang, it's not. I don't see it here. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it now. Come on, there's got. I want to find it because it's like. It's very telling. It's very telling. All right, so I'll explain. I'll try to explain it to you guys, and I'll post it in the Discord if I find it. So if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. But all right, so Steph shoots it. The ball's already out. Dylan Brooks goes like this, like he's blocking the shot. After he misses the block, he goes like this, down looking at Steph's injured thumb. It's so obvious. And it's like, bro, you can't say F you Draymond and then that's okay though. You're going to hurt, this Hall of Famer's thumb. Brooks is a good player though. Can't knock him too hard, but he sure shrunk after going at LeBron and losing that series. Now, I like Dylan Brooks. He's a good player. Nurkic injury was indefensible. Maybe I'm more pro Nurk. No, the Draymond swinging at Nurkic was really dumb. It was terrible. Wasn't at this game, but I really remember watching on TV and Nurkic broke his leg. Ugh. The broken leg ones get me, man. But yeah, we'll oh dang it. Darn it. How do I fix this? Hold on. Sorry. I gotta how do I dang it. Why does it keep doing this? It's like glitching. I don't dang it. Shoot. Darn it. Let's see if I can fix this somehow. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know why it keeps doing that every week. What else was I gonna show? I got a couple jerseys I was gonna show you guys too. So here's a little update. Oh, the YouTube chat was off on here. Here's a little update. This is Arco Arena. It was right here. So Google Maps has been updated to the arena being gone. Right up here, this is Arco Park. This was the baseball/football mixed-use stadium they started to build, but abandoned it when they weren't able to lure a team. They were trying to get the A's, the Giants, the Raiders. When the Raiders were in LA, they were trying to lure a team to Sacramento, and they weren't able to, so they spent $16 million building this small piece of foundation. This lake here is where the baseball diamond would have been. And these are all the Arco Arena parking lots. This is the old Kings headquarters right here. I think that building's still there, and they do an antique fair in this parking lot. But I thought it was interesting that they finally updated it to show that Arco's gone. The arena's. I did a members only video where I went back and showed the empty lot now. But I also thought it was funny that the bathrooms are still there. So
If you need to tinkle from the antique fair, you can go find the restrooms, and it even shows the handicap accessible restrooms. So go check that out. But yeah, man, it was kind of like because I had looked before after demolition, and the arena was still here on Google Maps, but I looked last night and I was like, oh man, it's gone. That's crazy. That's crazy. Um. Oh, so SF City. I'm just gonna run through some cool stuff I found. Churro should be Gabe's new personal mascot. Yeah. Arco Park mentioned. You know it. I don't know about. I got some ideas for you guys too. There's some stuff I'm working on that I think people might like. All right, but Arco Arena felt like a large high school gym. Intimate vibes. Yeah, I mean it was the smallest arena in the league. Um, Also we got SF City FC May 14th match giveaway is this patch. Kezar Stadium 100 years patch. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to this game, but man, I want one of these patches. So hopefully they're selling it or I can find one after if I'm not able to go to the game. So yeah, they're a level. Was it? It says USL 2. I thought there were 3 though, because I thought Roots were 2. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but it's a smaller club and they play at Kezar Stadium in San Francisco, right next to Golden Gate Park. This is where the 49ers started playing. There's a lot of history in Kezar Stadium, and so it's cool that they're playing there. And man, I want this patch. I want this patch. So if anyone knows where to get this patch or sees it or gets one, let me know because I need this. I need this. I gave this away. I posted this. Someone will resell the patch for 500. I know, right? I'm gonna try to go and get one. But we'll see. I posted this in the Discord, but this is funny. Rocky's new uniforms looking like Taco Bell wrappers. What do you guys think of these ones? I'm so fascinated by the first Arco Arena, which is now some office building down the road. There's barely anything out about that arena. Yeah, I tried to get in there. One of the Arco videos I did, I went outside of it and showed the outside. There is a plaque on the outside of the building. I wasn't able to go inside, but yeah, you're absolutely right though. It's a very forgotten piece of NBA history. I need to tinkle real bad, guys. So we're gonna go to an emergency broadcast. We're taking a break. Everyone, go get a drink. Go get some tea. And I will be right back. That sun kiss, man. All right. I feel like a new man. Emergency is over, folks. Over. We're back. We're back. They're fire. I rate them unis. Okay. All right. You like the Taco Bell unis? I know. I know. Dirty Harry Films likes them because he's a Taco Bell guy. Not a fan of the Rockies ones. So I will say I like. I like the design of it. I don't like the color palette. I don't like the color palette. But I like the design. I think the design's fun. I don't like the collar that much. I think the helmets are pretty cool. I don't know if the hats look like that. I haven't even seen these yet, other than this picture. It faded away. But yeah, I think they're fun. I posted this in the Discord too. I really thought this was cool. Angels gave away a big A with a Millennium Falcon on it. I want to get one of these, but take the Falcon off. I just want the big A. And the reason for that is, I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm not a crossover guy. I don't really like crossovers that don't make sense. Like, what does the Millennium Falcon have to do with the big A? What does it have to do with the Angels? The Angels were once owned by Disney for a period of time, who then bought Star Wars from Lucasfilm. And there's a Millennium Falcon ride nearby. I guess that's actually a pretty good connection. Maybe it's an Anaheim thing, right? There's a Millennium Falcon ride a few miles away. But still, I don't know. I've never been a crossover guy. Like, I remember when the Giants, we had our World Series runs. It was when Sons of Anarchy was really popular, right? So you would always see shirts that was like Sam Crow, like the biker gang, but it would say like Bochy, Bruce Bochy or whatever. And it would say like San Francisco Giants with this Sons of Anarchy logo. And I'm just like, what does that have to do? What? Huh? Like, maybe if Jax, was his name Jax? It's been a long time since I watched it, but if Jax was a Giants fan or something, maybe. But like, they didn't even talk about baseball once in that show. I don't think. The whole time I'm thinking like, why won't Jax talk about how good the Twins are doing? Jax hasn't once mentioned like Miggy's about to win the Triple Crown. Jax hasn't mentioned it once. Yeah, there was a funny meme about that, the Harry Potter one. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's like Harry Potter is supposed to be set in the mid 90s or something, which is odd because not once does a character say something like, "Man, the Bulls are on a heck of a run right now, aren't they?" Oh, Taco Bell patch? Doritos Locos Tacos wrapper. I think they missed the opportunity. They should have used it as the halo around the A. I could see that, like poke the A through it. Wasn't SOA based in Redwood, California? It wasn't a real place, and it was very far from San Francisco. Only proper crossover is a Looney Tunes sports team. Oh yeah, of course. I grew up with that, of course. Like, I feel like cartoons are fine. Like the Mickey Mouse statues they would have at all the ballparks, like that. That's just a fun thing. It's just a fun character. But when it's like a story thing, like people would have like Breaking Bad crossover stuff with like a sports team. I'm just like, what does that have to do? I don't get it. It was based between Lodi and Stockton. It was, I think, supposed to be like, between Lodi and Stockton. I mean, maybe, but yeah, it wasn't. It was a fictional place, so I don't know. It might have been super Northern California. I don't remember, but no, because the thing is, I would see the Sons of Anarchy stuff for other teams too. It wasn't just the Giants, but I'm just saying you would see it a lot. Crossovers. I don't usually get them. You know, I don't understand. Here's another concept. Like I said, I just have a grab bag of stuff today. Little concept from Rohnert Park Designs. It's cool. I do kind of think that, like, I'm starting to get tired of all the City Connect concepts that are based around public transportation. Have you guys noticed that? That seems to like always be the go-to. Is like for the Bay Area, it'll be like Muni or BART or something. And then for like The New York, I always like the New York like subway aesthetic, so they're usually cool. But like I always see New York concepts. They use the subway numbering system and stuff like that, and the graphics. Was Chicago the L? I feel like I see that on like concepts. Like I don't know. I don't get why public transportation is always the go to. So I'm just kind of over it. So I guess that's my one gripe, and then also just blue, like having blue in the Giants jersey is all definitely it's definitely a choice, you know. Uh, Northern California, Southern, or yeah, disagree with that. Transit ones are kind of fire. No, I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying like I feel like they're always like I want someone to come up with something else. Right? Like the transit ones are usually cool. Like I really like this one. I like this jersey. I think it's a cool idea. But I just feel like there's so many other things you can point to. Cool with getting rid of the whole City Connect concept altogether. Yeah. Bay Area throwbacks is like I say, he's the traditionalist. He's like, man, get this out of here. And make Ebbets Fields great again. Sup, Josie? Public transportation City Connect works better in New York and Chicago. Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense. Transit ones are dope. I mean, they are. I'm not saying they aren't. Like it's usually a cool idea, but like I just feel like it's the go-to idea. I feel like there's other ideas out there. So, story of Jax, the main character, as it was based on a true story of a biker from Oakland. That could have been the reference there. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of biker gangs in the Bay Area and stuff, but no, I'm telling you, it was literally because Sons of Anarchy was popular at the time. And this is a phenomenon that happens all the time when there's one popular IP, there'll be crossover sports stuff. Like Star Wars, there's always like a Star Wars Giants shirt. It'll be like Darth Vader with a Giants jersey on type stuff. Like you see that everywhere, and it's not just the Giants. So even the Sons of Anarchy ones, I saw a Dallas Cowboys Sons of Anarchy shirt before. Like it was just Sons of Anarchy was really popular, and people could just bootleg shirts with the Sons of Anarchy logo and just change the text to say anything. Like it was just yeah. So I don't think it was anyone trying to like, you know, I don't think there was a connection there. I do Muni using their red and orange color scheme. Yeah, I mean SF City FC does that. That I was showing, the team I was just showing a moment ago, they have Muni jerseys that are really cool. I like the Giants jersey is Brooklyn Nets NYC Subway vibes. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, but I like the jersey. City Connect jerseys are straight travel ball team jerseys. These are not MLB jerseys. How's my week, Brand? What's up, dude? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. It's been all right. They should just make a That's So Raven City. Oh no, it's gonna be a hot take, but Portland has really good public transportation. I never took it, so I don't know. NFL's releasing new alternates. Yeah, I'm worried about them. The rivalry jerseys, Full House City Connect. Portland probably has the best public transit on the West Coast. I've never used it. I don't know. Also, Oaklandish apparently got a Valkyries licensing, so I like these shirts. So I'm gonna try to get one of these. I think they're pretty cool. I like that the word mark. You know, I always like the old school scripts. It's capitalist capitalizing on the moment as always. Yeah, for sure. The flea markets were full of that stuff. I'm telling you. Yeah. So, dang it. Shoot. Oops. God, how do I fix this? Why does this keep? Darn it. Shoot. I can't. How do you get this off the screen? Why does it keep doing? Who is hacking me again, dude? Dang it. Okay, sorry. I don't know why that keeps happening. Goodness. I don't know about Portland, but San Francisco is usually known as best public transportation city, West Chicago. I didn't know that. Lavender colors. Yeah, I love their colors. I love their colors. What else was I going to talk about? So I I put out my first Disneyland video. There's 2 more to go. And it has the lowest amount of views a video has gotten on my channel in a very long time. Yeah, kind of made me upset. Not upset, it made me sad. You know, like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just wish people watched all the videos and not just like some sports ones. So it's like I don't know, I just feel like why do I even have subscribers, you know? Like just don't subscribe. Just yeah, but I don't care about like I'm gonna do what I like doing regardless, cause like you know, but I'm going back to Disneyland with my niece, and it's gonna be the 70th anniversary, so the castle's gonna be all done up. Looks pretty cool. It's a cool logo. I was there for the 50th. I was there for the 60th. Now I'll be there for the 70th, the day of July 17th. So July 17th, July 17th, 2005, July 17th, 2015, now July 17th, 2025. I will be there with my niece and maybe some other people. I don't know if I'm going to really, I don't know what I'm going to film because obviously nobody wants to watch it. But I don't know. I might film something if I can think of something. I don't want to just do like Disneyland's birthday video or something. That seems boring, but I really enjoyed the time with my niece. That's obviously the most important thing. But we had some fun moments in the video. I talked about some of the history I really like. And then this week's video will be my first time at Galaxy's Edge. So it's like my first impressions, like 5-6 years too late. And then I have another video that's just all the extra stuff. It has no story. It has no narrations. It has no narrative. It's basically a members only video, but it's gonna be public. It's gonna be like a free preview of the members only videos. And I'm sure it won't get any views, but you know that's fine. It was one of the best times I ever had in my life. What up, Marie? Shot Simple, you watch? Thank you. You're always. That's why you need to give me your address. Yes, that's next, Diosa Kaminga. Let's just say Seattle's a ton of buses. Shame people can't see that. It's all good, man. It was great. And Jelly of those shoes. I'm glad you like the shoes. Children's Fairyland 75th anniversary. I want to go there, but I think you have to have a child, and my niece isn't here. My nephew's not here. I would love to go there, though. I do wish Disneyland also had a water park. They should, huh? They should. Knott's Berry Farm has a water park. I was there for the 50th. Stayed in the Howard Johnson across the road. What? Like the video a lot. I'm glad, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much. Used to be your age and we'll have that video to share. I really like that. Like, I've told my brother that. Like, that's personally like probably the coolest thing about my channel is like we'll have these memories, you know? It was just pretty cool. I have a student who's obsessed with the Casey Jr. train. I showed him that part of the video, made his day. That's so cool. Thank you so much. The third video has some more Casey Jr. in it, actually. The city's worst public transit. Los Angeles. Yeah, they tore it all out. Been to other Disneyland parks? I haven't yet. I want to. Definitely want to. So seeing you and your niece have a great time. Thank you, man. She's the best. She's the homie, you know? She's the homie. So yeah, we'll be there again in July. So I'll try to think if there's anything else we can do, you know. But let's dang it, oops, shoot, gosh, darn it, darn, okay, all right. Let's do some show and tell. Let's do some show and tell. If you haven't yet, please go watch the Disneyland video.
It's pathetically low views. So yeah, it's not that I did a lot. It's not, whatever. The video sucks. But I'ma have you naked by the end of this song, dude. Don't be so quick to walk away. Anyways, all right. Where should we start? We will start with, actually, I'm going to save this one for next week. We'll start with the thumbnail. Since he made his triumphant return to the lineup, Jonathan Kuminga, slam dunk bobblehead. I'm pretty sure Gabriel got me this one. Gamer Athletics. I think he got me this one. Pretty sure, yeah. They gave this out earlier this year, so this is a recent one. Oh wow, it has a whole write-up on Kuminga. I didn't even see that. It's a pretty cool graphic too. Kuminga over the Golden Gate Bridge. And I have another bobblehead, but I'm gonna save that for next week actually, because I have a few other things to show you guys. And yeah. Oh whoa, it's way smaller than I thought. Because I thought it was going to be huge. Because I was like, they have him dunking. So I was like, man, like. Alright, so you got the hoop. The ball's already going in the hoop. And then you got JK himself. Little guy, dude. He's a little guy. I didn't realize it was that little. And then he hangs on it. I thought it was like a regular size bobblehead, so I thought it was going to be huge. I'm actually glad it's not. I'm glad it's not huge, because I thought it was going to be like taking up a ton of space. That's pretty cool. We need the Gary Payton but dunking backwards one. Oh, this is awesome. I don't know if you can like clip this in so he doesn't come falling off, but that's pretty cool. Got the logo on the court. Jonathan Kuminga. Got his shoes. Yeah, this is cool. I don't know what all the stuff is on him. I don't know if I can wipe that off. Yeah, I can. It's like dust on him. But yeah, there it is. Oh man, I'm happy with this one. That's cool. I'm scared he's going to fall though. Right next to Vin. Oh, you guys can't see it. Right next to Vin. Known Giants fan. Vin Scully. Alright? Right by the Brandon Belt. And the Willie Mays. And Bobble Cheeks. Draymond Green. Johnny Cueto. Alright. Now, this is just a little extra thing I got. Cousin surprised me with tickets to Disneyland while I was in LA a couple weeks ago. So for the first time in 8 years, I went. Awesome, Diosa. What was your favorite ride? Been to Anaheim and Paris. Oh, I want to go to Paris so bad. So bad. In July, start saving and selling off extra collectibles. I know. Luckily, I already paid for our tickets. I just got to pay for the hotel and my niece's flight. But yeah, I'm artistic ramblings by public transit. It's all good, man. I like the extra knowledge. Got that one for Christmas. Nice. That one is real small. Do you have this one? Glad you guys like it. A Donald foil. Bro, I love O'Donnell Foyle in his post playing career, but man, I was upset when we drafted him. I was so mad that draft night. That's when I was still like so into it that I would watch the draft. I don't really do that anymore, but yeah. Now you're gonna say we need GP2 scratching his head. That would be a good one too. I was just thinking about, he'll have those like fast break, reverse dunks. So we got online, they resell recent Warriors bobbles for like $40-ish.
Chase, you can find them for $30. Yeah, this was bought after. This one, I think I asked Gabe to get it for me, and he bought it at the team store. So that wasn't even a giveaway. I'm gonna follow mine and stay perfectly on the rim since I got. Oh, so you do have it. Did they give out Jung Hoo Lee bobblehead last year? Yes, they did. I didn't get that one either. Getting into the season, to the draft class. I need the USA Curry. Dang, they had the USA Curry on sale there? Oh, yeah, you did tell me your uncle always hooks you up. All right, so I haven't even opened this, and I don't even know what this looks like. The St. Louis Cardinals Bob Gibson Hall of Fame statue. So this was a giveaway. I don't even know what year. Yeah, I don't even know what year, honestly. Okay, and I don't know what it looks like, so I don't even know how to open it. Okay. Oh, it looks sort of like a bobblehead, but I don't think it bobbles. Oh, and is it broken, or is it just you got to put it together? Dang, it might be broken. I might have to glue this back. So this is cool. It's like a plate on bricks. Was that stats? Yeah, Cardinals pitcher, 59-75, NL MVP, 68, two-time Cy Young Award winner, 68 and 70, franchise career records, 251 wins, 3,117 strikeouts, 255 complete games, 56 shutouts, two-time World Series champion in 64-67. So this is the stand he's on. So I don't know if is this a statue in St. Louis? Looks funny. Yeah, so it looks like it broke, so I'm going to have to glue this in. That's not a big deal. Man, that's a really funny likeness, huh? And the shape of his body. I still think it's cool, though. I still think it's cool. It's Bob Gibson. How can you not like Bob Gibson, you know? Other than over the years, the Giants and Cardinals have had a heated, not a rivalry, but heated matchups for decades and decades. But yeah, that's kind of cool. I got this for super cheap, so. All right, Blue. You're my boy, Blue. Only draft I watch in full is the NFL draft, most because they marketed super well. That's true. I was so mad Foyle didn't play at all against the Jazz in the playoffs when they were way undersized. Yeah, I remember that. NHL draft is irrelevant unless there's a Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid or Macklin Celebrini. Given out in 2016? Oh, you looked it up or what? Or you just knew, Diosa? But yeah, this thing's cool. I like this. I don't know if I'm going to put this on display, but it's definitely something I'll have in the collection. So I'm going to put it here for now, but I'll probably box that one up. I like Bob Gibson, though, you know? I like Bob Gibson. All right, and then last big thing. Which one should I do first? They're connected. But all right, I got this tube, right? I got this tube a while back. And I didn't open it up. It was just sitting in a corner, unopened, until I totally forgot what it was. Okay? So, I don't know if I should show this first or the other thing. Yeah, I'll show this first. No. Let's show this first. So you guys know I haven't shown you guys any of the stadiums, the like Danbury Mint stadiums in a while. So this is a really cool one. This is a Danbury Mint Stadium. I did not have this one at Fans Fest. If you looked at my stadiums at Fans Fest, but this one is a beauty. And luckily it's in perfect condition. This right here is Turner Field in Atlanta. Let's see if I can. I need to change the focusing here. Let me change the focus. Give me a second. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this is a beautiful Danbury mint. It's got the plaza back there. I think I don't know if it's I don't think it's in this plaza, but a little further is where they have the marking from Fulton County Stadium, and that's where Hank Aaron hit his record-breaking home run. They have it marked in the parking lot. And so Turner Field was one of those fields that didn't last as long as it should have. It was replaced too quick. And they went to, what's it called now? Truist. And now they're using this for what? College football or something? Like, they're using it for something. I think it's college football. But really cool stadium. A lot of detail in this one. This is a stadium I was always bummed I didn't get to see because there were so many, cool memories there when I used to like the Braves. They were our division rival, but I couldn't help but like them because Fred McGriff was like my second favorite player. And of course they had, Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz. Like, they're really fun to watch. So I wasn't like a Braves fan, but I appreciated them. Although I was angry when we won 104 games and missed the playoffs because for some reason the Braves were in our division in the NL West. But cool stadium there. Cool ballpark. So connected to this. Okay, I got this and hold on. Then I had this tube. Right? I couldn't remember what this tube was. But I started to open it, and I was like, what is going on here? And I remembered. A little bit of dirt. We got dirt, folks. This dirt is from Turner Field. So now I have dirt from, I don't know, like 4 or 5 different ballparks. So I got some Turner Field dirt. I think it's cool to get the infield dirt of places that no longer exist. And that's kind of cool. So I got that. And then I was like, what is all this other stuff, though? So whoever I ordered this from on eBay, I believe, a while back, too. A while back, they hooked it up. And they gave me a whole... Uh-oh, there's a staple. It's going to mess this up. Oh, no. Ow. I just cut myself on the staples, too. That is crazy. There's staples on here. And I just cut myself on the staples. You guys are going to watch me bleed. And watch me bleed out. This is crazy. I just took this out the other day, and then now there's staples. These staples were not there before. I'm gonna chew them out, dude. Well, this is a fun live stream. Trying to use this Disneyland ice cube to get them out. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, one staple out, and I'm using my light up ice cube from Disneyland. Right? You got not only does it change the game, but it also comes in handy. You know why? Because I just need something small to hammer out these staples.
And there's the other staple. Look at that. It's out. Dude, this ice cube's the best. Light up ice cube and it has function? And it has function? God, this is the worst live stream I've probably ever done, huh? Just been complaining, talking about yelling at my neighbors. Now I'm using a plastic light up ice cube from Disneyland to get staples out of a cardboard tube. I do what I can, folks. Okay? Until Sunkiss sponsors me. I'm kind of stuck. All right. Finally. Good Lord. All right. So I got the dirt. And they threw in a bunch of extra stuff, which is always cool. So got a Turner Field map thing. Or not map. Poster. Thing's got stats on it. Yeah, opening day facts, major events, 1996 Olympics, 99 World Series, 2000 All-Star Game, broke ground July 10th, 1993, opened in 97. Yeah. Nicknamed the Ted after Ted Turner. Right? So they threw in that. They threw in the final series little program, 2016. Right? So it didn't even last 20 years till they replaced it. But yeah, it's a cool little program. I like the map of the ballpark there. A whole bunch of ads, of course. Got the lineups and whatnot. Right? The All-Turner Field team. All-Turner Field team. Ryan Klesko in left field. Andrew Jones in center. Brian Jordan in right. Brian Jordan, if you guys don't know, he played football and baseball, just like Dion. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Rafael Furcal at shortstop. Chipper Jones at third. Marcus Giles at second. Freddie Freeman at first. That hurts me because I was a Fred McGriff guy. You know, I was a Fred McGriff guy. Martin Prado, utility. Bobby Cox is the manager. Javi Lopez is catcher. Not Giants Javier Lopez, but Javi Lopez. He was one of my favorite catchers as a kid. Craig Kimbrell as the relief pitcher. And then starting rotation, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Tim Hudson, Julio Teheran. I don't even remember him. What year did he play? I feel like this is way like... I mean, you know what? A lot of the... Now that I think about it, it opened in 97, so some of the best guys in the 90s were already gone or, you know, tail end. So I was going to say a lot of recency bias in this, but no, this is probably accurate. This is probably accurate. I'm surprised Brian Jordan made it, though. Guess they didn't have a whole lot of really good right fielders. And then I got the souvenir ticket to the final game at Turner Field. Is this a souvenir ticket? Oh, this came with the dirt. So yeah. But I always think it's cool, man. Like, I always appreciate it when people on eBay will throw in extra stuff, you know? But yeah, cool stuff, you know? I remember when Turner Field opened. And now I got a little piece of it right here. You know? News on Satchel Paige, nothing yet. I gotta look that up still. There was no update last time I saw. That's cool. Thank you. I'm doing the Wolfpack hand sign because that model is too sweet. When ATL hosted the Olympics, that plaza was all stadium seating. Was it? I didn't know that. Braves moved to the suburbs because there's a perception that Turner Field was in the hood. Yeah, I mean, it was also just they're always trying to wheel and deal. You know, there's always something behind it. Why the hell would the Atlanta Braves in the NL West?
You tell me, dude. It was just like before realignment. I mean, football was the same way. The Saints were in the NFC West, and the Falcons. Saints and Falcons were in the NFC West. Divisions used to be so stupid. Yeah, Atlanta is damn near the East Coast and somehow in the West. Yeah. Kai Cenat has 15 of those ice cubes. Dude, Kai Cenat has none of these. Kai Cenat wishes he was removing staples in a cardboard mailing tube with a light up ice cube. He wishes. Unfortunately, his live stream just isn't up to snuff. But yeah, I appreciate this person, throwing in the extras. That's super cool. Super cool. And now, like, I'm not going to display all this stuff now because, I don't live in a mansion. But if I ever live in a mansion and I can display all my stuff, I can have a little Turner Field section, you know what I mean? We'll get some Fred McGriff autographs or something. Freaking David Justice autograph, He was probably off the Braves before the Turner Field, though. I think he left 96, 97? I don't remember. He brought out the cubes singing Justin Timberlake songs. Gonna have naked by the end of this song. Prayers for Dame. He may have a torn Achilles. Dame Lillard? Night, Diosa. No Steve Avery. Bit emotional about that because, of course, as a Steelers fan, we love Dame. Yeah. Damn, really lasted just 20 seasons. I know it's crazy, right? They freaking... I don't know. I think there was a lot of politics behind it. Because I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But I always thought that Ted Turner owned the stadium itself. And then didn't he... I don't remember. I'm not going to speak out of turn. But I think they wanted to get away from that ballpark anyways. And I guess now, I forgot who it's used by. It's used by a college, I believe. College football plays there, I think. City of Atlanta also did not want to invest money and make the area around Turner Field nice. Now, Truist Field is miles from downtown ATL. Yeah, I heard it's out there. All right, Marlena, thank you for checking in. Thank you. We need the first variety museum. Dude, that's what I want, man. I want like an antique store or something. Dame Lillard, man. Went out in the first quarter today and didn't return. Dang. I was going to put that game on too. And I was like, nah, it seems like a boring game. Damn, poor Dame, man. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But yeah, I think that's it for today. That's probably it. Where are we at? 2 hours, 13? Yeah. Kaminga, though. Dude, I really didn't know it was so small. I like it a lot more, actually, because it's like different, It stands out. So this week, like I said, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge video will be out. And then Disneyland grab bag video of just all extra footage. When my brother came, we go on Rise of the Resistance. Like it's his first time on the ride. My niece's funny reactions to the Pixar Pier. What do they call it now? Fun Wheel or whatever in California Adventure. Some goofing off on the Grizzly River Rapids. It's a whole bunch of just extra footage. I think our first time on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So just goofs and gaffs at Disneyland. And again, I know the videos aren't popular for my channel. Most people are, looking for sports videos, it seems like. So I get it, but I got a whole list of stuff coming out that's going to be non-sports related. So get used to it. And then after that, I actually might do a sports video after that, depending on the timing, because I'm going to go to Golden State Valkyries game, very first game at Chase Center. On May 4th, also May 4th, me and my buddy Jonathan will be at the Roots game at the Oakland Coliseum. And then I got, let's see, I'm going to did a video at Museum of the Weird in Austin, Texas. I did another abandoned minor league baseball stadium. And what else? I mean, I got a whole bunch of stuff to edit, so there's no shortage of content on the way. Dang, what else? I still got to edit some of the Vegas stuff too, of course. And I'm putting up some of my Disneyland stuff, or Disneyland prints on the print shop. And I will, once I get all these up, let me show you guys. I'm actually proud of these. I don't do a whole lot of photography. I'm not really a photography guy, as it were. I mostly do videos, but we did some photography, me and my niece, and I'm proud of some of the shots. So these are going to be up in the print shop. Let me show you. Oops. Why'd that disappear? Oops. Sorry. No, this won't be in the print shop. This won't be in. I don't know. Maybe I'll do pre-orders. Maybe I'll do, if you guys want this in the print shop, maybe I'll do pre-orders. I don't know. But so far, I don't have plans to put this in the print shop yet. But I don't know. Maybe at some point, maybe at some point we'll put this in the print shop. Cool shot of Radiator Springs Racers. There's actually, you can see the car going by right there. Nighttime in Radiator Springs. Doesn't get much better than that. Beautiful shot of the castle here. And the clock in the backside courtyard. And then this cool shot of the train station. So I'm just proud of these. I don't do photography too much, but I had fun doing these. And obviously, I'm not a photographer, so I'm sure they're messed up or something. I don't know. They're really not as good as they should be. But I did a handful of photos. Me and my niece did some photos together, and she actually took some too. And we had a good time. So I think some of these shots are beautiful. Obviously, Disneyland is very photogenic. So if you like Disneyland, these will be in the print shop. And I'm going to give a discount code to YouTube members and Patreon members once I get all these photos up in the print shop. So if you're a member or anything, you can get a little discount on that. So I can help fund the next trip. And then, dang it. Why does this keep happening? Gosh darn it. Okay. But yeah. That'll be this week. And then got other stuff like the Neon Museum coming out video, some more ghost towns and history. And yeah. Georgia State Panthers. Okay. Went out in the first quarter. Yeah, definitely was the East Coast. The state borders the ocean. Georgia State's Bucks now 3-1 down to the Pacers. Giannis would be on the move. I don't know. They say that every year, I feel like Giannis, at this point, he's got a championship, so it's not like he has to, panic. So I don't know. Giannis might stay. And it's not... Milwaukee showed him they were trying by getting Dame, right? Kind of. So he might appreciate that and be like, look what we tried. I still think they won that championship with good defense. And they didn't replace the people they lost with that defense. So I think they should go that direction. Both the South and East Coast. Yeah, I also wouldn't mind living in ATL. Yeah, I want to go to ATL. Gabe loves his churros. He does. Giannis to Warriors. They say that every year. I'd rather not. I mean, if it happens, look, I'm gonna support him as a Warrior, but you know, I'd rather not. But I was wrong about Jimmy Butler too. So who the heck am I, dude? I'm just a dude with a Jonathan Kuminga Duncan bobblehead. All right, and a Sunkissed Raspberry Blood Orange. Not sponsored, but it can be. Business email in the description. All right. So look, guys, I'm not dropping out of this race, dude. I'm seeing this thing through. I apologize to my neighbor for not being a good neighbor. And I apologize for assuming that my neighbor was a bad neighbor. I apologize. I apologize to the channel for putting out videos nobody wants to watch. Join the Discord if you want. Yeah, we talk about stuff and show things off, and you know, we're always goofing. Yeah. Anything else? I think they have done all they can to bring one more back, but it's time to get some picks and move on. So, I mean, if Milwaukee might trade Giannis before the next trade deadline, I don't know when does his contract end this year or next year. Because I mean, I could see Milwaukee moving on from him. Especially, I mean, look, if this injury to Dame that you guys told me about, if it's like ACL, then they're going to blow the whole thing up. Because obviously they're not going to compete next year. So Milwaukee would blow everything up, I think. But if it's not as serious, maybe they'll run it back. But I don't know their contract situations either. So that's hard to say. He has 2 more left? Okay, yeah, I could see Milwaukee trading him. Anyways, the Warriors are going to win it all. Giants are going to win it all. Look, the Giants just completed a 17-day run of games. 17 days. They went 10-7, a lot of games on the road. They've played like the most teams over 500. They have a good run differential. We're in a good spot, and we're at the top of the division. Oh, they're at the top of the division, folks. What are we going to do? What are we going to do, dude? Did I even show you guys this? Look at that, New York All-Star Game, 1939. Polo Grounds. There's a shop in Harlem that puts out these exclusive hats, apparently. They have an online shop, so a lot of these hats I order from Harlem. They have the Polo Grounds hats. Now, it's hard to see on the camera probably, but I kind of don't like this color. I thought it was more of a tan, which kind of on the camera looks tan. But it almost has a slight orange to it, like almost a salmon, which I don't really like. But it has a corduroy brown bill. But I like this hat. Unfortunately, it's one size a little too small with my hair this long. So if you guys saw earlier, I had a mark here. Yeah, I still have that mark, see? And I got some other hats I want to show you guys. Actually, I got some good summertime hats. Summertime hats. Gonna have you naked by the end of this song. And I throw it. Talk to me, boy. Do, 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 do. And that's just what it is, dude. That's just what it is. Sunkissed, if you guys want to send me more, that was lovely. Actually, no, I gotta cut out sugar. I've been good for the most part. Then I slip up sometimes with stuff like this. All right. Anything else to say? Is a free agent in 2028, so he still has a bit left. Yeah, I think if Dame is out, and he's going to be out like all next year because it's ACL, Milwaukee might just trade Giannis They might blow it all up and then tank for whoever's available. I don't know. I don't know anyone in college. Dude, I was surprised with the NFL draft. The first QB taken was like pick 25 or something. I can't remember that first QB ever being taken that late. Oh, no. Cam Ward, right? Other than one. But after that, it wasn't like, because usually the top 10 is like, there's a couple, top 15, there's a couple more. I don't know. Think they may, huh? Yeah, if Dame's out for a year and a half, why would Milwaukee just continue where they're at? But then again, they might surprise us and stay loyal to Giannis, which they should. I'm not saying they should trade him, because like the way I see it, man, he brought them a championship. It's kind of like the way I feel with Steph, man. Just give him the keys and let him do what he wants. Like, I don't care if we have down years. Let's just enjoy it. Cash in now and rebuild. Yeah, it might be the smart move. I wouldn't do it though. If I was Milwaukee, I would stay loyal. You saw how the Dallas fans reacted to Luka getting traded, even though they were wrong, right? Like Luka wasn't going to win them anything. He can't play defense, but they don't know that, Those poor fools in Dallas. Some of the most foolish sports fans in the sporting world out there. But I understand why they like Luka. They were just wrong. Does need to get KD back. People keep saying that, man, but I don't know. Kuminga and picks for KD. KD has one more year with the Suns? So yeah, I think the Suns for sure. If KD's under contract for one more year, the Suns for sure are trading KD, right? We have to believe that, right? There's no reason for them to let KD play it out next year. No reason. Because I think he's signed for one more. I could be wrong. Suns might even trade Booker, dude. Suns are down bad. Think the Mavs are going to be a problem when they're healthy? Yeah, their Mavs aren't as bad as people think. So if they had a healthy Anthony Davis, they would have been in just as much of a good position as they were with Luka. The problem is Anthony Davis is never healthy. Heard rumors KD could lead to Houston. Head to Houston. I read some people talking about that yesterday, actually. They were like, man, like, imagine KD. Because I think KD's, like, veteran, like, presence and all that would help calm them down. This is my thing about Houston. This is what I've been saying in the Discord. I love when Houston comes out and they're yelling and screaming, and Sengun got like a big dunk in like the first 5 minutes of the game, and he's like, and everyone's going crazy. I love that, because you're just burning yourself out. Yeah, dude. Get hype in the first quarter. Yeah, expend all your energy, because then it's like a wave, man. It crashes. Steph hits a couple threes and demoralizes them. And it's like the higher you are, the bigger the fall, right? So, and you tire yourself out playing all extra hard like it's crunch time in the first quarter. So I love that when Houston does that. But then you add someone like KD who has the experience. He might get them to like chill. Like, let's relax. Let's take the ball up court. Let's slow it down. Whereas, with their youth, and Van Vliet doesn't seem to help with that. But man, he hit those like three threes in a row last night. Oh, I was so angry. KD back to OKC would be crazy. Book is going to retire a son. I don't know I just don't trust the Suns, man. I think Book may want to. He may be down for it. I just don't trust the Suns. I don't know. All right, fellas, and gals. Me and Dennis Eckersley got to sign off now. All right, me and Brandon Belt got things to do. Okay. I'm gonna get to editing actually. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for checking in. If you haven't yet, please go watch the Disneyland video and the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Me and my niece flying the Millennium Falcon. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. That'll be out this week. I can't believe it's been a year since that trip, and I'm just putting the videos out. But I filmed 7 hours of footage, so that gives you guys an idea of how far behind I am with editing, especially when there's like a new sports thing happening. I mean, from the end of summer until now, this is like now until the Valkyries and Ballers openers in a couple weeks now. This is like the first break I've had of sports. Other than that, it was constant sports. And the sports videos I try to put out immediately. So like all the A's stuff, 49ers stuff, all that stuff going on. I've just been doing sports videos forever. But now I finally got some free time between sporting events. So I was able to finally get through that 7 hours of footage. And that's why it turned into 3 videos. It was supposed to be 1, but it was too much footage. So I made it into 3. But I appreciate you guys joining the Discord. And I will be posting more on the Etsy shop. Link in the description. We're not driving out of this race. We're seeing this thing through, folks. And that's that. And that's that, dude. Because I'm going to have you naked by the end of this song, dude. All right. That's it, dude. Talk to me, boy, dude. Hey. Hey, talk to me, boy. That's it. We got light up ice cubes. Kai Cenat doesn't have light up ice cubes. He doesn't, dude. He doesn't have candies that his neighbors that he got in an argument with gave him. He doesn't have that. You know? And he's not going to have you naked by the end of this song like I am. All right? Vertlife. Appreciate you guys. See you next week. See you at the the Roots game and the Ballers games eventually. Be at both. Okay? And the Valkyries. Go Valkyries. And hopefully Bay FC too. It's a lot of sports. For life.